Hey Ridewire viewers, welcome back to the channel. I'm excited today because we've got something that merges nostalgia with the modern motorcycle scene, the 2026 Suzuki GS 400. Yes, Suzuki has brought back the legendary GS name, and it's everything riders have been hoping for: compact, stylish, accessible, and loaded with just enough tech to make it relevant in 2026 without losing its old school soul. Today, we're diving deep into what makes the GS 400 such an appealing machine: its features, performance, design, pricing, and what really sets it apart in the crowded middleweight category. The GS 400 has always stood for balance, the right mix of usable power, classic looks, and affordability. Suzuki's new interpretation sticks to that formula but updates it for the modern rider. Powering this revived GS is a 400cc liquid-cooled parallel twin, tuned for smooth to-work delivery and everyday rideability. It pushes out roughly 46 horsepower, delivered through a slick 6-speed gearbox, and it's clear Suzuki engineered this bike to be both fun and forgiving. It's a bike that encourages you to ride every day to work, through traffic, and on weekends when you're itching for a twisty backroad escape. Suzuki also loaded it with modern essentials: full LED lighting, a semi-digital instrument cluster, and a USB charging port that's neatly tucked under the bars. The electronics are kept simple. ABS is standard, traction control is minimal but effective, and ride modes are straightforward. This isn't a bike trying to overwhelm you with buttons and screens. It's about riding purity, with just enough tech to keep things safe and convenient. It's refreshing to see Suzuki focusing on what riders actually use instead of what looks good on spec sheets. Now, let's talk about performance, because that's where the GS 400 really shows its character. With that 400cc twin, the bike delivers a power curve that feels alive without being intimidating. It's got enough punch off the line to keep up with larger bikes in city traffic, and once you open it up, the mid-range surge feels addictive. Suzuki has tuned the fueling perfectly: a crisp throttle response, smooth gear shifts, and a pleasantly throaty exhaust note that gives just the right feedback without being obnoxious. It feels refined yet emotional, a balance that's rare in this displacement range. Handling is another area where Suzuki clearly put in the work. The GS 400 rides on a lightweight steel trellis frame, designed for both stiffness and comfort. The suspension setup, telescopic forks up front and twin shocks at the rear, has been fine-tuned to handle a mix of urban bumps and fast sweepers. You can flick it into corners confidently, and it holds its line without trauma. Braking performance is sharp too, thanks to dual front discs and ABS calibration that feels progressive rather than intrusive. The overall weight stays just below 180 kilograms, giving it that nimble, easy-to-move feeling that makes you want to keep riding even after your errands are done. And let's be honest, the GS 400's design is one of its strongest assets. Suzuki has nailed the neo-retro styling here. The bike's silhouette pays homage to the original late 70s GS series with its rounded headlamp, sculpted tank, and minimalist tail section. But it's not just nostalgia. Every curve and contour feels deliberate and modern. The LED headlight is housed in a classic round casing. The tank has those subtle chrome accents that catch the light beautifully, and the side covers bear a simple GS logo that feels like a respectful nod to the past. You can tell Suzuki wanted to make a bike that older riders would admire and younger riders would instantly find cool. Ergonomically, it's designed to suit just about anyone. The seat height sits around 790 millimeters, which keeps it approachable even for shorter riders. The upright bar position means you're not hunched over, and the foot pegs are rear set just enough to feel sporty without compromising comfort. The seat itself is surprisingly plush for this class, and long rides don't leave you sore. Combined with a tank shape that allows your knees to grip easily, it gives a confident, connected feel on the road. This is a bike that doesn't punish you, it rewards you, no matter how long your trip. When it comes to pricing, Suzuki seems determined to make the GS 400 a real contender. Early market info suggests it'll launch around $6,800 in the US at about £5,999 in the UK, putting it right in the sweet spot for riders upgrading from a 250 or 300. or even those returning to biking after a few years off. That's solid value when you consider what you're getting: a stylish, well-built, reliable motorcycle with heritage and enough tech to feel current. It undercuts a lot of its rivals from Kawasaki and Yamaha while offering just as much personality. So what really sets the GS400 apart? First, its blend of modern performance and vintage soul. Suzuki didn't just slap retro graphics on an existing bike, they built something that feels purposeful. Second, the GS400 manages to be friendly without being boring. It's engaging at low speeds and still satisfying when you push it. Third, the build quality and finish are genuinely impressive. From the paint to the metal detailing, it looks and feels more premium than its price tag suggests. Finally, Suzuki's reliability record and wide service network mean you're buying peace of mind, not just a machine. The GS400 also appeals emotionally. It brings back the feeling of when bikes were simpler, when it was just you, the machine, and the road. It's not about riding modes, not about bragging rights. It's about that authentic, mechanical connection. Suzuki clearly understands that modern riders still crave that, and the GS400 captures it beautifully. So, after spending time with this bike, it's easy to see why enthusiasts are excited. It's stylish enough to draw attention at the cafe tilde copyright, yet practical enough to ride every day. It's fast enough to thrill without scaring you, and most importantly, it's priced so you don't have to sell your car to own one. The 2026 Suzuki GS400 represents the return of a legend, one that bridges generations of riders and proves that sometimes, going back to your roots is the smartest move you can make. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more honest reviews here on RideWire, and let me know in the comments what you think of the GS400. Would you ride it as your daily commuter or weekend machine? Either way, it's clear that Suzuki's back in the middleweight game, and they're back in style. Ride safe, stay inspired, and as always, keep the rubber side down.